next year we're going to have senior night, first day of classes, August 27th, and there won't be a game, but we'll celebrate the seniors' last season. I feel like every year it's the same thing with the emotion of the moment. You know, I thought we got ourselves together in the second half, but the first half was a little rough. Thanks to Jewell for keeping us in the game. I thought she played very well, almost a double-double, and I thought Lindsay Allen had a spectacular floor game. Really did a great job against the press. And Natalie Achonwa on her senior night after the emotion of O Canada came up with another double-double. Just a fantastic second half all the way around.
Can you talk a little bit about the job your players did on Marshall and Wallace? You know, Marshall didn't hit double figures until like maybe 8 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, she rebounded well, though. I mean, she's a great player. She is so hard to guard. I mean, she comes off the screen, curling to the rim. She's strong. She's active. She's athletic. And, I mean, she had 11 rebounds. That's a phenomenal stat for a guard. 19 points, 11 rebounds. She pretty much got her average. So she struggled a little bit in the first half. I thought we did a better job on her in the first half, but we just could not box her out. I mean, she was pretty much unstoppable. And then I thought Whiteside, 19 points in the second half. I mean, we didn't have an answer for her. I was really disappointed with our rebounding effort. We actually didn't have an effort. The rebounding was just poor. I mean, 26 offensive rebounds is not going to win us a lot of games.
Were they just too quick for you on the boards?
You know, they were quick and they were physical, and we didn't match it. I mean, we didn't really attempt to box out. I thought our rotations were poor, yeah, I think we've got a lot of work to do rebounding wise, especially in the post.
Coach, can you just talk about your underclassmen in the early portion of the game? You know, you're struggling, and then I think the underclassmen scored something like 15 straight points. How important that was to help kind of give the seniors a boost?
You know, I think on this night we generally rely on them. I think that's pretty much that way every year. And Jewell, Mike hit a 3. Lindsay Allen again made a couple of nice drives, got to the free throw line. So I thought they were definitely contributing, trying to keep us going. But you know, I thought our problems were the turnovers that were leading to points for them, and that was kind of some uncharacteristically really bad decisions, I thought, in the turnovers.
With Ariel, how hard is it to be a role player on a team with so much talent?
You know, I think that's her job. She really just needs to rebound and defend, and you know, she's got a good job because she's very good at those things, and she's a kind of a glue player. She doesn't need to score. She doesn't need to get a lot of attention. She's really happy to play that kind of role. She's kind of a blue-collar worker out there. I mean, she'll dive for loose balls. She'll come up with a big steal just about every game, or a block shot or something big every game. And you know, we really need her to do that. So I think she's having a really great year. She's a little bit in the shadow, and I think, you know, kind of the unsung hero of the team.
When Kayla McBride is struggling shooting, can you talk about how she can be dangerous passing the ball?
Yeah, 8 assists tonight. I mean, that was fantastic. She had the presence of mind to understand that, you know, she wasn't on, so instead of passing, she found the post a lot on the 2-on-1 against the press. Just did a really good job of just steadying us against the press. When Lindsay was out, took over the point and made some great passes. And you know, and she did a nice job defensively too. So I was pleased with her at the defensive end.
Can you elaborate a little more about Lindsay? 5 assists, 8 rebounds, and she was picking up floor burns all over.
Yeah. You know, she probably would have had more assists, I think, a couple of times when we probably could have scored. So I'm just so happy with her decision making. You know, that's the biggest thing for a freshman. She was double teamed all night long and just took great care of the basketball. I was really pleased with everything she did, coming up with the rebounds, the loose balls, just getting a hand in whenever she could. I mean, just made really great decisions all night.
Coach, how did the intensity that Georgia Tech played with tonight compare to what you've seen from other teams so far this season?
You know, I think the ACC is the best league in women's basketball, and every team comes in with that kind of intensity, especially when they're playing us, because it's a chance to beat a top team, and everybody is gunning for us. So, you know, we got a big target on our back, so we expect to take everybody's best shot. And at the beginning of the game, I was a little worried when they hit back-to-back threes and, you know, got off to a pretty good start. So, you know, I was glad we kind of steadied the ship and were able to finish the game.
Coach, can you just, we talked about earlier in the week, just the senior class overall and what they've meant to this program.
Well, they've been the heart and soul of this program. I think all 3 of them have contributed in such different ways, and the great thing about this trio is they complement each other so well. Where you have a vocal leader in Ace and a leader by example in K-Mac, and then Ariel is the one that's going to give the personal touch and kind of maybe relieve with a comic moment. She's going to keep everybody laughing and keep everybody loose, and you know they just compete. They have a great work ethic. They've kind of passed that down to the underclassmen. I think as we lose seniors, you hope that they are leaving something behind. In this group, boy, there's going to be some giant holes to fill when they leave.
So could you talk a little bit, when you saw the upperclassmen early struggle a little bit, did you think to yourself, you know, I have to fill the hole here, or was that your mindset at all?
Not really. I knew we were going to get something going, you know, later on in the game. I didn't want to force anything, and I just kind of stuck to our game plan and helped like that, make some shots.
Can you talk about what you took advantage of in Georgia Tech's defense?
Just cutting to the middle, attacking when we can, off the press, and just trying to make open shots.
Were they playing the defense that was kind of, you could get into the transition because you had a number of fast break points?
Right. Our point guard, Lindsay Allen, did a good job of throwing it over. Taylor K-Mac, finding open gaps, and our wings cut through the middle, so it made it easier for them to find us, and you know, we were able to make good passes.
Can you just talk about how Kayla McBride has evolved into a passer this season?
Yeah, she's a dangerous passer. She looks up and she finds you, and you know, that's something that no one really notices about her game because she's such a great scorer. But she can definitely pass the ball.
Coach, looking forward to Georgia Tech. What's your impression of Derica Hamby and Chelsea Douglas?
Wake Forest.
Wake Forest.
Oh,
Wake Forest.
Sorry. You know, I haven't seen film on them yet. Sorry.
Okay.
Can you talk about,
What?
Natalie, was it emotional for you tonight, or was it just something Georgia Tech's defense was doing that kind of took a little while for things to click?
I don't know if I'd say emotional, but it takes a toll on you just kind of having that break in your warm up and getting out of your routine and just, but it was actually fun at the same time. So I mean, we got to enjoy it with our teammates and our coaches that moment, but then kind of got us out of our rhythm too. So just took us a little bit to refocus and get back into play mode.
Was that touching for you to see the Canadian flag being brought out and hearing "O Canada"?
Yeah, when we were coming out, everyone's like, "Don't cry when they play the video," and I was me and K-Mac were laughing in the video at how young we looked in the freshman year. But then the "O Canada" really was the touching part, and that I was really grateful that they did that for me.
Can you talk about the way Jewell was able to take command there? That one run, 13-2. She had the three. She had the alley-oop. Just what her talents emerged and took over.
Yeah, when we needed some energy between Jewell and K-Mac, then K-Mac made a couple of those passes to her, and then Jewell was doing a great job of running the floor and getting in the gaps. We rarely ran offense, so just that press break and finding the open gaps, Jewell did a great job on just being open.
What did you think the issue was with rebounding tonight?
I think we missed some short box outs. We felt like we had position, but we weren't pushing them back enough. So just to stand there when they're missing a couple long shots, it doesn't help. We need to push them back, especially when they have athletic players like Georgia Tech does.